I'm from Jackson, Mississippi, kind of right outside of it. I lived there the first 17 years of my life and then moved up here. So I've actually lived here longer than there now, which shows my age.
Nice. These guys have to be good at math, though.
Yeah.
So, and what brought you up to Nashville?
Actually, it was my dad. So this will turn into a long story, but I always loved music, but and most of you are probably like this, where you grew up loving music, but at some point something was the trigger that said, oh wow, I want to do this. And for me, I won a guitar off the radio when I was 15. And they were actually, this will also show my age, they were having a contest to show how fast the Yellow Pages were. So you call into the radio station, they would say, look, we want you to look up 4115, and if you can do it under 30 seconds, you win the prize. And the day that I called in, it was a guitar, and so that's what it was like. You know, in The Simpsons, when it's like the Simpsons and the clouds, it was like the guitar came down. So from then on, it was everything else in my life just kind of went away. And I think my dad, as dads do, just saw how passionate I was about this one thing, and well, how can I help my son? You know, because I don't know anything about music, and
Right.
And so his one piece of advice was, he's like, if you stay here, you're going to be in a bar band or teach, you know.
Yeah.
So you need to go somewhere where people are making a living doing music. And Nashville was the closest place, so that was that.
That's crazy. So tell the people, because I know, of course, what your dad does and like why you have lots of things with your name on them.
Yeah. That was another reason for moving.
That's
up
incredibly
here,
insightful for your dad.
Yeah.
Here.
My dad, my family has owned an automobile business since the 1950s. And basically my grandfather came back from World War II, and they were teaching, they had like little 6-week courses. So what are you interested in? I'm interested in accounting. Okay, you go over here and you get a certificate, and then you can get a job. And they were just trying to get GIs employed after the war. So he took an accounting course, and he started a set of books for this. Dealership is really not the right word. I mean, it was like the size of this room.
Yeah. And
they had like 10 cars out on the lot. It was a used, thing or whatever. Pontiacs, I think. And so he just, that guy was retiring and kind of sold the business for next to nothing to my grandfather. And my dad works there, my uncle worked there, my sister works there, her husband works there. It was very much a family business. It's a small little mom and pop operation, but I was named the third after my grandfather. So, and my grandmother used to say, like, when we'd be at the dealership at my grandfather's desk, she would say, well, that'll be your chair one day, So I just grew up thinking this is what I was going to do. And when I found the guitar, everything changed. And so my dad and I were driving down the road one day, and I think I was 16 at this point. And it was like the existential crisis of my entire life. How do I tell my parents that I don't want to be in the family business? And it got to that point where it was like I couldn't take. I don't even know. I don't remember what we were doing, but it was like I had to tell him then, and I couldn't wait any longer. And I was like, Dad. And he's like, yeah. And I said, what if I don't want to be in the car business? And he pulled the car over to the side of the road, put it in park, and he looked at me and he goes, son, I've known since you were born that you weren't going to be in the car business. And I was just, it was like this really sweet moment. And then about 5 seconds later, he goes, plus you'd be terrible at it. So I was like, why can't we just have this moment for just a second?